pie. Okay, in this episode of Return of Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing Need for Speed World. It came out just a few days before I uploaded this video, and it is the latest addition to Electronic Arts' Need for Speed line of games. After a very long line of either questionable or downright awful games, have they finally given us something good to work with here? We'll see. The first thing you notice is the graphics aren't bad, and what I mean by not bad is they're acceptable, but they are not the best graphics you've ever seen in a racing game. Need for Speed Shift had some slightly better graphics, but definitely. It is free. It is free roam, massive multiplayer game, so you'll see other people driving around and traffic cars randomly spawning in front of you and cops to run into and get into cop chases with. It's a very large open world, and you might recognize some of this already because this half of the map is literally a clone of the map from Need for Speed Carbon, which was arguably the worst Need for Speed ever made. But it does give it an interesting, hey, I've been here before, familiar feel. Oh dear. You'll notice that gameplay is smooth, there isn't much lag. I mean, I've seen worse lag playing Need for Speed Most Wanted on land, and you'll see here on the map how the left half there is Need for Speed Carbon, and everything else was taken directly from Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, I haven't actually played Carbon much because it was so terrible, but Most Wanted I play like religiously. I play Most Wanted, and I can say that they have done a great job recreating the Most Wanted world, and it's really cool to see it, you know, in the weather will change from dawn to dusk, and then dawn, and then dusk, never to full night like you had in Underground 2, where it was the perpetual night racing. But here it goes from twilight to twilight, and it's very interesting to see Need for Speed in the twilight and to see the Carbon world in the daylight, which is what I'm driving through right now, because that's where it always starts here.
Please be advised, a report just came in about a wanted street racer last seen moving east, repeat east. See some non-priority calls on my screen. Units, please clear and head up that way.
Oh dear, I seem to have annoyed the cops.
You got any more info? I'm nearby. I'll take a call for you.
There's a little text chat you can see in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. That is a global chat, and you'll notice that when I first started it said I was in channel, and then gave me a number. And the channels are not for the chat. The chat is global through all, you know, there's like 50 or some channels. And what those do is they keep the world from getting too congested. So you don't have thousands upon hundreds upon hundreds. There isn't really that many people playing this game right now since it's still in beta. But it's so you don't have hundreds and hundreds of people in the same world. It kind of makes parallel dimensions, if you wish, which the chat can globally communicate. So if one of your friends signs on and you have him on your friends list, you can ask him what channel he's on, join that channel, and you can drive to a meeting place or join a game or something like that. Now you'll see him in the Most Wanted part of the map. This is near where your first safe house is when you start career mode. Usually, they're called Rock Bayview. I think it's Bayview. Nah, I don't know, but it's here. And as you can see, they did a good job. I mean, even the street signs, the flea market sign over where your safe house was, these cool shortcuts through the hospital, and then there's the one like it that goes through the I don't know what it was, a state penitentiary, something like that. And here I'll show you, this is a cop chase. Your heat level is that little flame looking thing in the lower right hand corner, right to the left of the mini-map, and below the RPM, or the tachometer. Very short cop chase. You see there's the meter down there, the red car and the blue car, how far away you are from the cop, whether you're about to get busted or about to go away. It goes to the cooldown meter. You all know how this works if you've played Most Wanted or one thing Hot Pursuit has it, but Most Wanted and Carbon does. And then you yes, you evaded the cops, you click next, you got money, and you got rep. And when you get rep, that meter at the top there, that shows how much rep you are, and you can go to the next level, and when you level up, you get access to more tracks, more upgrades, better cars, stuff of that nature. And another thing is, they showed me picking the cards. And this is one thing I really don't like about this version of Need for Speed. I mean, it's all been pretty decent up until this point, except for one word about the cops. They don't care what you do. You can go flying by them at 90 miles an hour in a 30 zone, and they won't give a flying turkey. Only if you smash into somebody right in front of them, or accidentally tap one of the cop cars, that's the only way you can get the cops on you. And they're everywhere. These cops are everywhere. There's too many of them for this map. And they have a tendency to go to where all the people are. So where there's high concentrations of people, there's going to be 6 or 7 cops within about 100 meters. And I think it's kind of ridiculous. I liked it better in Most Wanted when, you know, there was one cop going in circles around one block. And if you happen to be speeding down that block and the cop saw you, he'd be on you. Whether you were going 1 mile above the speed limit or 100 miles above the speed limit, it didn't really matter. What was I saying before I went off on this? What you just saw there was the options menu. You notice that the interface and the control options are grayed out because those haven't been implemented yet. So it's just keyboard controls for now, and I'm assuming the interface options can remove the chat window or remove the power-ups thing or something like that from the screen, so it's a little less cluttered, because this is quite a cluttered view screen here. That's what I was going to say. The one thing I'm really object to in this game is Mario Kart style power-ups. NOS. It doesn't work like in Most Wanted, unfortunately. Yes, I'm going to base everything on here off of Most Wanted because I think that's what this game is trying most to be like, and that was, in my opinion, the best Need for Speed game ever made. The NOS, it's like in Pro Street, and I'm not sure about Shift. I haven't played Shift yet. I've played every Need for Speed game but Shift. The NOS, you push the button, and it uses an entire canister of NOS, and you can see there's the NOS is the top one on that little cross there, and it has a little white number in it, and that's how many shots of NOS I have left. I run out of those, I'm done. So you really have to conserve your NOS and your other power-ups, because you usually get something after every race, even if you lose. Even cop chases, sometimes if you lose, you'll get something. You lose money, but you'll get rep and you'll get power-ups. Other power-ups are weird things, like they make your car heavier. Some of them are kind of useful, like they make your cooldown meter go faster, or they disorient the cops a little bit. And there's one that I think is hilarious. The person who's in the lead in the race, all the traffic cars try to crash into him. It's hysterical to watch. But Need for Speed World is an okay game. It's not going to win any awards. It's pretty buggy in its current state, with the cops aren't implemented well, and there's some half-done features, but it's really not that bad.